Were you ever out in traffic and someone ahead of you changes lanes without looking and almost causes an accident? You may have said to yourself, what were they thinking? Maybe you said some other things too, but I'll let that go for now. Do you know someone who is really hurting for money and seems to live from week to week, and then they go out and buy something big that they really didn't need? And again, you may have thought, what were they thinking? And now it's your birthday and someone gets you something that you will never use, and it is just completely out of your style. You probably said, thank you, and then thought, what were you thinking? Well, this brings to mind a passage out of the Bible. You may know this one, Mark chapter 2. A few days later, when Jesus again entered Capernaum, the people heard that he had come home. They gathered in such large numbers that there was no room left, not even outside the door, and he preached the word to them. Some men came, bringing to him a paralyzed man, carried by 4 of them. Since they could not get him to Jesus because of the crowd, they made an opening in the roof above Jesus by digging through it, and then lowered the mat the man was lying on. When Jesus saw their faith, he said to the paralyzed man, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Now some teachers of the law were sitting there, thinking to themselves, why does this fellow talk like that? He's blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone? Immediately Jesus knew in his spirit that this was what they were thinking in their hearts, and he said to them, "Why are you thinking these things? Which is easier to say to this paralyzed man, 'Your sins are forgiven,' or to say, 'Get up, take your mat, and walk'? But I want you to know that the Son of Man has authority on earth to forgive sins." So he said to the man, "I tell you, get up, take your mat, and go home." He got up, took his mat, and walked out in full view of them all. This amazed everyone, and they praised God, saying, "We have never seen anything like this." A little scary, isn't it? And this isn't the only time that Jesus knew what people were thinking. Look at Luke chapter 2, verse 44, or Luke chapter 5, verses 21 and 22, or Luke chapter 6, verse 8. If Jesus is standing near you, would you be concerned that he might know what you're thinking? What if someone told you that Jesus knows what you're thinking right now? Maybe that you want to turn off this video before you hear any more disturbing statements. I have a feeling that you want to keep your thoughts to yourself, but that may not be so easy. Paul gives us some good advice, which is recorded in his letter to the Philippians, from chapter 4, starting in verse 8. "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things." This is not just Paul talking about positive thinking. The whole letter to the Philippians is about having the same nature as Jesus. Actually, this letter was written while Paul was in prison in Rome. Makes you wonder what thoughts he must have had. Reading the entire letter will tell you. I know, negative thoughts are always pounding us. They are so easy to get caught up in because of things going wrong, people mistreating us, and then unexpected problems. Why not read Paul's response again and cast out the negative thoughts and replace them with the things Paul suggested? I am sure you will feel better about life, and a positive attitude will go with it. God is not about the negative of life. He will be your answer for all of your negative feelings if you just let him.